Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of natural gas. And I will be doing weekly videos on Sundays covering natural gas. So if you are interested in natural gas, make sure you subscribe to the channel for weekly coverage of this. And so in this video, I just wanted to follow up on last week's video when I went over these Fibonacci levels, retracing from the high of October 31st down to the low of December 13th, and then back up to the recent high that occurred on January 9th. And so what we've seen since then is basically it was down around 21.5% over the course of last week. On Friday, January 19th, price went down by 7.6%. And, it's just been brutally beaten down over the past week. And so I had drawn these Fibonacci levels expecting them to act as some form of support on the way down. I didn't expect it to plummet this fast. Pretty crazy. But that is why they call it the Widowmaker, because it's pretty volatile. And so kind of like the last line of defense that I saw on this chart was right around $2.50, this blue line that I have marked here, which is based on really the gap between December 8th and 11th. So over that weekend, there was a gap down and then some consolidation below that level I expected to act as support. But as you can see, on Friday, we broke well below that level, blowing past the 786 retracement, which is kind of obscured by the candles, but that is at a price of $2.40.37. And the closing price for last week looks like $2.30.6. So, been pretty brutally beaten down. 250 wasn't support. Even the 786 was not a support. So it's quite possible there will be a full retracement coming back down to the low of December 13th, which was $2.20.9, marked by the bottom of this Fibonacci retracement. It is also possible that it does break below that and we continue down this Fibonacci retracement, and that would suggest a price of $1.65 about. So, brace for that if it is going to happen. I definitely hope it does not. But I think that we're all accustomed to being surprised by natural gas, or I guess I should say not being surprised by it, because it is so volatile. But, I am hopeful that we do start to see signs of a bottom. And one bit of hope that I have is this red line that I have drawn here, which is based on a couple touch points going back to, I believe, 2020. Let's see, there's this high that was on right around May 5th, 2020. And then also that served as a brief support around the end of December 2020. I believe the 28th also touched that point. It does look like there was some consolidation between those two touches. And then we also saw a lot of price action ranging above and below that level over the course of 2023. Really the first half of 2023. And so it looks like, it's quite possible that may serve as support like it had back in 2020. But, like I said, it is also quite possible price will be going lower. So, just brace for that. And one thing that I did add to the chart, which I hope gives a little bit of hope, is I've covered this in previous videos that $3.50 is the forecasted average for the year of 2024. So I do have that green line up there. So, I do think that price will be getting up there at some point. But, right now we have to, reform a bottom just like we did in the middle of December. Before, running up. And one thing I do want to note, because there's been so much bitter cold weather right around the polar vortex and stuff, the upcoming 8 to 14 day temperature forecast for the US is temperatures well above normal. So, I'm curious to see if that has any relation to what happens with natural gas. Where I live, it's been bitter cold the past week. And, I would expect, like my energy bill is up because I'm running the heater. I would expect natural gas price to go up, but we actually saw it go down. So maybe that's a lag to that. And so with temperatures warming up after it being cold, I'm curious to see what happens with that. But now I am just going to switch over to United States natural gas, ticker symbol UNG, going over those levels. And this is actually what I have been trading. And so based on the same Fibonacci's that I just went over, you can see that we have actually not gotten back to the 786, which corresponds with that blue line that I have drawn on natural gas right here, which price is trading well below, as well as trading well below the 786 retracement. And so UNG is still above that, so I find that pretty surprising. And really for me, is my target. I'm really hoping to accumulate a lot of UNG there, but of course, not financial advice. And what I have been doing, the strategy that I have been using, is I have been just placing buy orders at these Fibonacci levels on the way down. And each level down, I just double the buy from the last one, or double the position, so I get a low average. And so if my order is filled at $5, I believe my average would be right around $5.30, just above the closing price on Friday, January 19th, $5.20. And so, yeah, I'm hoping that price continues down. I hope it goes to $5 so that order gets filled. I don't want it to go much lower than that, but if it does, I am prepared for it. But yeah, I feel like there's a pretty good, opportunity in accumulating based on these levels. And so I've been trying to be disciplined and only placing orders at those levels. And also I have been avoiding BOIL, which is the 2x leveraged natural gas, which has just been brutally beaten down well below the blue line, which is the gap that was here with consolidation below. And then also, like the commodity, like natural gas, now trading below the 786. So on the way down, BOIL was more similar in that sense to natural gas, which is below the 786, whereas UNG is not, as I had just mentioned. So I think that's pretty interesting. I hope that this doesn't go much lower, but for me, this time around, I've avoided BOIL just because of the kind of extreme volatility of it. And I just didn't want to be caught holding the bag for so long. But I am, feeling pretty good about my UNG position. And, I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens in the week to come. And before I close the video, I do just want to point out a couple of news items. One is that it looks like there's a policy shift regarding European natural gas stability. So if there is some instability, I would think that could drive price up. So maybe we are at or near a bottom. Just like geopolitical risks right here related to crude oil, how that might affect natural gas. And then also just this note on natural gas sinks to its year-to-date lows and extending downward slide despite cold blast, which I have gone over with this, expectation of temperatures to be rising. So perhaps, natural gas will rise with them. But, those are, just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more coverage of natural gas and videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.